Israel, bring that fire out.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
We seeking peace in the streets of Babylon. Brandishing Glock 40s, tucking heat like a carry-on. Sinning against the fathers, got me sleeping, not napping on. Christ the King revealed this aerial phenomenon. Kicking against the pricks, lose your soul when that fire comes. We purify better than gold, got my Bible on. And that's all that I know, we're in Babylon. Don't fall, watch it blow, ayy. Switching it up, the nation's gonna drink it. I'm talking to cup, don't care what you thinking. Believe in the gospel, God is thinking. The fires of heaven gon' gather for dinner. The ear of the flesh, the wicked, the sinner. Your mama, your sister, your daddy, your cousin can get they issue. If they mind, they don't repent.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
IUIC, see we in the streets with it. Beasts with it, we the kings and the priests with it. My people sleeping, got them dreaming in the sheets with it. So we spit that holy fire, bringing heat with it. We out here fighting for better days. Most sins make better slaves. Gotta come together on the 7th day. Lose 11 and I levitate. 1 plus 11 heaven gates. 12 tribes, no reprobates. Kingdom come, I can never wait. But the pages saints never separate. Christ coming back with a legion of them angels. Picture perfect prophecies, trying to find my angle. Hung from a tree and they watch his body dangle. So the vengeance of the Lord coming down, you in danger.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
Golden wedges of a fear. Look at here, we the prophets of the Most High, the only God I fear. Killing your career as a Christian, shed a tear. Jesus take the wheel, I'ma let the scripture steer. Joseph interpret dreams, but I don't think he could imagine it. Seed in the last days, Jacob told him this would happen.
And we letting loose, we some loose cannon. Patient saints on the scene, and this kingdom we commanding. Purple and gold, no LeBron James. With King Christ, we gon' see better days. Now you not free cause you got money, you a slave. The Most High on his throne, but holding all our ways. They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah, coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
Mr. Israel, bring that fire out.
Yeah. I want the nation bowing down to me to make them crown the king. Glorious sound to me, release like Jubilee. The end of poverty, angelic body me. If I leave my throne, you gonna see a different
Officer Yakub, you ready? You ain't ready? All right. Okay, you gotta go boo-boo. All right. Tuning in the scripts. Reloaded. I mean, whatever. You know, I thought that's what he said. I don't know. All right. What is what's wrong with you? Now we got a sub. Officer Jacob, sub in. Yeah. Help you. He's just gonna look at the brother. The brother over there struggling. He's just gonna stand there. Oh God. Y'all give us a second, man. We finna sub in, man. Brother need milk and magnesia.
Damn.
You all right?
I'm all right.
Okay.
LSJ is back. All praise.
Okay, LSJ. For those that don't know, LSJ is light-skinned Jacob.
That's right.
We got two Jacobs in the camp, so this is Officer LSJ. Officer Karim is really tickled.
Don't put the camera on me, bro.
So go back to the article. All right, pull up this article. So whatever happened, I don't know. Technical difficulties, but we back. We only got a couple of minutes. We ain't finna get through even half of what we had for the night. So we're gonna push the rest to the next week, Lord's will. Actually, the week after that. All right. So this is the actual schedule, and is this what I said? Post. Yes. All right. So this is the schedule. So it actually started today. So y'all see the African and Diaspora Young Leaders Forum, Civil Society Forum, African Growth and Opportunity Act, Trade Ministerial, U.S. Africa Space Forum. So they want to join together with Africa to get into space.
The hell is this?
To further their space exploration. Also, and you ain't got to click on it, but of course, America is continuing to push the agenda along with other countries to occupy space. So I'm trying to remember the wording. Not displace, not basically occupy space. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but it's in there. All right. Space Forum, Peace, Security, and Governance Forum, Health. Partnering for Sustainable Health Cooperation. Now, last time I checked, when Esau went in there, Bill Gates, he was trying to turn boo-boo and piss into water.
Mm-hmm. The hell is this?
So is that the health that they trying to push out there? Are they still trying to push the doo-doo water?
That and vaccines, I think.
That and vaccines.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Doo-doo water and vaccines is what they're trying to push out there in Africa. The diaspora in Africa, conservation, climate adaptation, and a just energy transition. Scroll down. Tomorrow, so you got a couple of more things, and y'all can read the rest on your own. U.S.-Africa trade, growing agribusiness, so they still dealing with food security and value chain. So they're gonna push BS food out there. Advancing digital connectivity, partnerships to enable inclusive growth through technology. Keynote remarks from President Biden. Scroll down. Lead a session, partnering on agenda. So they thinking out to 2063. Damn. They not talking about 2 or 3 years from now. Esau's thoughts, black people don't got a thought past their nose. Wow. Esau thinks decades ahead.
Right.
And this is just more food governance, stuff like that. All right, so drop that. Let's go to the next one. Next. All right. All Africa will next week, Lord's will. Like I said, I didn't get a chance. We just kind of gonna gloss over this because I want to see how this plays out over the next couple of days. I want to see some more. I want to see some more commentaries on the actual meetings. So Lord's will, next week or the week after, we're going to touch this. But will next week's U.S.-Africa Summit revive relations? Scroll down. Just start from the top.
The equal partnership focus is worthy through perhaps a subtle response.
Hold up. Read it again.
Says, the equal partnership focus is worthy, though perhaps a subtle response to Africa's neutral stance on the Russia-Ukraine war.
So Africa's neutral. Africa's neutral when it comes to Russia-Ukraine. They're not taking no side. Go ahead.
United States President Joe Biden's U.S.-Africa summit next week is set to be a big jamboree.
A big jamboree.
Jamboree. Hey, you know, that's an Edomite word.
Yo, okay. Go ahead.
Over 3 days, around 42 African heads of state plus African Union Commission Chairperson Moussa Faki Mahamat and a host of business, civil society, diaspora, and youth leaders will hold wide-ranging talks with the U.S. administration in Washington.
For only the second time. Go ahead.
America hopes to relaunch U.S.-Africa relations, which became dormant under former President Donald Trump.
Who said it was a shithole country. Go ahead.
The U.S. wants to show its commitment to Africa and increase cooperation on sharing global priorities.
On shared global priorities. Now, Africa didn't say that they shared global priorities with America. America imposed their global priorities on Africa.
They said, we coming over.
Because keep in mind, about $22,000 is the ticket for this event. So you got a lot of what they call a S-hole country, and you got people in Africa that are paying around $22,000 to join this summit.
Right.
Over those days. $22,000.
Right.
A lot of them ain't making or barely making in American money about $1 a day.
Right.
Go ahead.
Hey, Cap, they said that they want to increase shared global priorities. So think about what America's one of their number one priorities right now is to stop anti-Semitism.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if they make Africa start get on that same train.
Right.
It may be in the topic they mentioned with the young leaders.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So, never know.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Senior Director for Africa at the White House, these priorities include health, climate change, food security, conflict issues, and even cooperation in space.
Even cooperation in space. Go ahead.
The stress on equal partnership is worthy, though perhaps a subtle response to most African states' refusal to take sides in the Russia-Ukraine war.
It says the stress on equal partnership is worthy, though perhaps a subtle response to most African states' refusal to take sides in the Russia-Ukraine war. Go ahead.
The message is that Africa doesn't need to suffer other countries' actions, in this case, chronic food insecurity because of the war, but can help to shape those actions.
This is a resource grab. They see what Africa, what Russia, India, China.
Is it North Korea? Is North Korea part of that?
Brazil. North Korea, I'm not sure, but it's so many countries that are putting in requests to join. Say it, Mike.
I'm saying, didn't Iran put application as well?
Iran,
recently?
yeah. Well, no, Iran is already in. No. Yeah, they put in application. Yes, India's in there now. Yes. Go ahead.
For Washington to host a second Africa summit 8 years after the first one in 2014 raises several questions.
So ain't nobody stupid. They're like, what the hell is America up to? Why after 8 years and only the second time that you've held this sort of summit are you just offering? Well, you don't just offer $55 billion just cause.
Right. Exactly.
That's that one cousin that hit you up after like 2 years. How you doing, cuz?
Right.
Like this nigga.
Go ahead.
What the hell is this?
One is what the U.S. can offer Africa that other major players on the continent, such as the European Union, China, and Japan, cannot.
So one is what the U.S. can offer Africa that other major players on the continent, such as the European Union, China, and Japan, cannot. Go ahead.
Especially since these other three powers have been holding regular summits all along.
Well, Africa's just coming to the table because $55 billion, you ain't finna just turn that down. Well, let me see what they're talking about.
Right.
Go ahead.
Molly Fee, Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, answered that question at a media briefing this week, saying a U.S. partnership could help the continent advance its own goals, such as food and health security and addressing climate change. She and Jude Devermont, Special Assistants to the President and Senior Director for African Affairs at the National Security Council, both regretted that U.S.-Africa summits hadn't been held regularly.
Well, here's the point, though. It's enough African leaders to help their own self. They don't need America's help.
Right.
They can all put their heads together. You got the land, you got the resources. Just put your heads together.
Right. Hey, too, because my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because remember, America is an import-export country.
Mhm.
Africa can be self-reliant.
There you
So
go.
what do they need the U.S. for?
I mean, hell, they're getting all the resources from Africa.
Right,
so-
right, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
The batteries in your EV,
Mhm.
batteries in your phone. Now China puts it together, but where you think those natural resources come from?
Right.
Mhm.
Africa. Who you think is mining those natural resources in 2022?
African.
Israel out there in Africa.
Mhm.
That's who's doing that. So we just gonna see. We're gonna see. I had another video, but I don't have time to play it, and I don't have the timestamps. It's like 19 minutes. It's on what is that Edomite thing? Democracy Now. Democracy Now. It's some really good comments. Like 19 minutes, some really good commentary on this. When y'all get a chance, y'all go back and look at that commentary on this. And Lord's will, next week, 2 weeks, we'll see what comes out of it. But I'm very interested to see. Very interested to see. All right. Probably the last thing for the night, because it's late. Go pull up that anti-Semitism. Actually, pull up the Hill article first. Pull up the Hill article first. Oh, hold up.
What you got, Cat?
Psalms. Smoother than butter.
Smoother than butter. His words. His words was smoother.
The book,
You was thinking it, bring it out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. Bring it out! The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
The Bible say, read it again, officer.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Notice in the article it said, oh, we got all these programs of agriculture and health and finance and tech and space and so on and so forth, making it sound like it's a good thing. Like, we're going to grab these resources, we're going to help out Africa. But what?
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart, because peep that little part. It said it for a quick second. It said, it's likely a response to Africa being neutral to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So what America basically is saying is, listen, y'all niggas better pick a side on this war. right. And if you don't, we gonna find a crafty way to deplete all your resources up out your hand while we go to war to defend our people. Not to mention, we gonna fight y'all to get y'all resources because we know y'all not giving it up freely.
Right.
So that's that crafty counsel that that Esau be moving into, trying to trick our people's minds to think something good is coming when really death and destruction is coming behind it.
Right.
Hey, read this in Micah chapter 6, start at verse 10.
The book of Micah, chapter 6 and verse 10. Bring it out! Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked?
The house of the wicked is right here in America. This is the house of the wicked. And the treasures of wickedness is here.
Right.
Let's start with that $55 billion. Go ahead.
Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances?
America's not pure, because they always deal with unjust balances.
Right.
Same thing that you read in Revelation 6. When they deal with the dark nations, it's always unjust balances. Go ahead.
Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights? For the rich men thereof are full of violence.
For the rich men, America's on the brink of. We in the midst of a recession. I ain't gonna say on the brink. America was given out just a year, 2 years ago. Stimmies all over the place.
Right.
You get a stimmy.
You get a stimmy. You get a stimmy.
Right.
Now they've given billions of dollars to Ukraine for the war in Ukraine, the brutal war in Ukraine. Now $55 billion to Africa.
Right.
Over here, you ain't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of.
Right.
You ain't even got a pot.
Right. The hell is this?
They gonna take the piss.
Right.
Wow. And make you drink it, because that's what they doing over there in Africa.
Right.
I got a whole machine.
Literally,
Y'all
right.
finna make me go down the
Bill Gates.
Read that again, verse 12.
For the rich men thereof are full of violence, And the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth.
That's why I'm like, what's really behind the curtain?
Right.
What's really behind that $55 billion that they just gave to Africa?
Right.
Just to have a conversation. What's really behind that? What they looking to gain from that?
Because you got to think about it, Cap, because their dollar's not built on nothing. So you got to put people in debt to owe you something,
Right.
so you can continue to push your capitalist society,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But it's not working. It's about to go down. So they try to find a lot of ways, so many ways to get out this mess.
Hey, we got time for a script. Oh, somebody about to say something.
Real quick, yeah, to land back off your point, officer. When I was in college, I studied economics. And one of the things that they taught us in college is America's money is what they call fiat money, which means it's just believe money. You believe it has value because we say it has value. So to your point about saying there's nothing backing it.
Exactly.
But meanwhile,
There you go.
you got Putin holding a brick of gold.
Right.
Bricks.
Literal bricks.
Literal bricks, right.
Because they have tangible value to their currency. That's what they building up. Not no promissory notes,
Right.
which is what the dollar is.
Exactly.
DiGiasso said,
It's an IOU.
what did he say? Oh, man. He said it's a, oh, God, dog. How can I forget now? He said it's a social construct.
Right.
The American dollar is nothing more than a social construct.
Right.
And that class was fire, by the way. Shout out to Deacon Albrecht.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, like I said, I'm interested. Go back to Psalms 55. Read the verse above it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Because as it stands, Africa's neutral. They ain't got no beef like that. They like, whatever. We doing our thing. Go ahead.
He hath broken his covenant.
So don't be surprised with whatever relationship, whatever deal that America's trying to establish, they've always dealt unjustly with the dark nations.
Right.
Always.
Right.
So trust me, America ain't coming in that thing because they want a friend and they want to make Africa their buddy and they pal and all that.
Right.
Man, please.
Right.
You think they're gonna change in 2022?
No, sir.
But we'll see.
It's a
We'll
trap.
see. We'll see. It's a setup, bro.
That's a setup.
Setup. All right, go. Now let's go to this. We're gonna switch topics. This will definitely be the last one for the night. So this maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that, 2-3 weeks ago, I saw that Biden's vice president's husband, whose name I forget off the top of my head, Kamala Harris' husband, second gentleman, whatever, held a conference, not a summit, but conference or whatever on anti-Semitism because he's Amalek.
Oh, God. Right.
He's an Amalekite.
Wow.
So he held a conference on this rise in anti-Semitism over the last couple of months. And all these violent crimes that have been committed against other Amalekites.
Give me a break.
Who y'all call Jewish people.
What the hell is this?
So read the title for me.
Biden establishes government task force to combat anti-Semitism.
So Biden established a government task force. You know who that task force is led by? Scroll down.
President Biden will establish a task force to coordinate government efforts to address anti-Semitism and other forms of religious bigotry, the White House said Monday in the wake of a rise in anti-Semitic rhetoric from high-profile public figures.
Go ahead.
Biden is creating an interagency group led by the staff at the Domestic Policy Council and the National Security Council. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a statement, the group's first order of business will be to formulate a national strategy to counter anti-Semitism.
A national strategy. National strategy. Scroll down.
This strategy will...
No. Keep scrolling. Y'all can read this on your own. That's just a statement. Let me see if it says it. Keep going. No, keep going. I don't think it says on this. Scroll up a little bit. Oh, what you got?
Where it says second gentleman, that's you looking for?
No. I'm looking for a name. I got it right here, but I thought it said it in here. Scroll up a little bit. Keep going. Stop. Read strategic. No. Start the announcement.
The announcement comes roughly 1 week after more than 100 lawmakers sent
More than 100 lawmakers. Come on.
Sent a letter asking Biden for a national strategy.
For a nationwide strategy
to combat anti-Semitism and a whole of government approach to threats and violence against Jewish communities.
So they want, and guess what? They're going to define what threats are. Threats and violence. They're the lawmakers. They're going to tell you what a threat is.
The hell is this?
Go ahead.
Strategic coordination would help agencies share best practices, data, and intelligence, identify gaps in efforts.
Share best practices, data, and intelligence. Identify gaps in efforts. Go ahead.
Streamline overlapping activities and roles and execute a unified national strategy, the lawmaker said.
They're going to put laws in place. They're going to put money behind making sure that you do not expose who the wicked is.
Right. The hell is this?
They trying to stop prophecy, but 2 Thessalonians, it's written. It's already written.
Right.
The wicked will be revealed in these last days. He's being revealed.
That's right.
Your skirt is being lifted, America.
Right. Real quick, Cap, if you notice, too, earlier in the article, it said one of the key task force groups that's coming together to do this is the National Security Council.
I'm happy you said that.
So that's showing you that this is going to become a national security issue.
Right.
Translation, you Negroes in purple and gold on the street are a threat to national security.
Right.
Yes.
That's when that persecution that Bishop and them been talking about us going to jail and things like that is going to pop off. They, like to your point, they think that they're stopping prophecy from happening, but they don't realize that they're pushing prophecy.
They're fulfilling it.
Right.
Let's read them fulfilling the prophecy. What was you going to say, Austin?
Hey, I was going to say real quick, when they say interagency, that means multiple different agencies.
Yes.
So you got the FBI, the CIA, your local police departments. They all going to come up with different ways to make this illegal.
Right. So they're talking about Homeland Security. First, this is going to be being led by the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security. U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, Amalek. He's Amalek. He's Amalek, so he's going to be pushing, trust me.
Right.
Your vice president's husband, Amalek.
Right.
They coming. Now let's read the prophecy, Isaiah chapter 13, verse 1 and 2. Let's read the prophecy of the 100 lawmakers that are sending a letter to stop anti-Semitism.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Prophesy using the scriptures against America. Go ahead.
Exalt the voice unto them.
Use those mics that you got in them Bigfoots. Go ahead.
Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
That they may go to the lawmakers. Go ahead.
I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
For mine what?
For mine anger.
Guess what? Y'all fulfilling prophecy and y'all are pissing the Most High off.
Right.
That's what y'all doing.
Right.
Y'all are fulfilling prophecy and pissing the Most High off. All right? So we're going to end it on that. We're going to end it on that. But Lord's will, next couple of weeks, we're going to come back. And we're gonna deal with Amalek some more.
That's right.
We got more.
Right.
That's right.
All right. So make sure y'all subscribe and follow us on IUIC Dallas, all social media platforms, Instagram at Dallas IUIC, Facebook at IUIC Dallas, TikTok at IUIC Dallas, YouTube at IUIC Dallas, and make sure you donate via PayPal to IUIC.Dallas@IsraelUnite.org. All right. Lord's will, we'll see y'all back here next week. Y'all are tuning in to Scripts.
You are listening
Reloaded.
Reloaded.
Who are these pale imposters? You can't inherit the promise, the color of brass polish. You don't believe it, you sodish. Come with your doctrine demolished. You don't want beef, sausage, not from Earth, interplanetary. Ain't it scary when the mothership landing? That's a chariot, baby. My daddy laughing, so calamity with the family. That's how it happened, little baby, when you don't want to listen. Oh, you pledge your position. Oh, you might get a mention. Oh, 2/3 of this henchman. Sick of these niggas, I'm sick of these dogs. You wanna play games? Pause. I swim in that water like Jaws. These Christians is chicken dogs. You read the apostles of Paul and don't understand